Morning, 6:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, October 3rd, 2018. Let's take a look at what's going on in Coinbase Pro. We all know what this is, the shady coin. It's been up here for the past couple of days. Coming back, leaving, coming back, leaving. Look at the book. The largest trade is at the lowest price possible. So any trader worth his salt knows that's manipulation. And now it disappears. Spoofing, illegal. Okay, now let's go to Litecoin. By the way, Bitcoin is in New York State. It's unregulated, and so is Ethereum. So it's not going to make any sense to look for any manipulation in Ethereum and Bitcoin. Though it is still present in Litecoin. I do believe I got the new rule. New rule is 2,113.25. It's probably embedded in these two walls. This wall here. This wall here. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before the SEC joins the fray now that the federal judge ruled on September 11th that crypto, with the exception of Bitcoin and Ethereum, all fall under the security laws. So I think Coinbase should have realized that and started kicking these traders off, because now, with that ruling by a federal judge, not a local jurisdiction, a federal judge, with basically says that's going to be the argument in all 50 states. And you know what? People using that example of that ruling they're gonna go hell bent after Coinbase because they left themselves open to lawsuits. In my case, I just wanted the manipulation to stop, give them the evidence, see the manipulation stop and make the market, the exchange a better place to trade on. But I guess I was mistaken. I mistaken all of that stuff that Brian Armstrong and Charlie Lee says that this platform's on the up and up. Just as bad as all the others. And as a human being, I always look for the light at the end of the tunnel. I thought I saw it with Coinbase Pro. I said, oh look, they don't like manipulation here. Maybe they just don't know what's happening on there. Let me just tell them, they'll take it off. It was a mistake of a hopeful person. That there were still good people out there. And after my interaction with the head of global investigations from Coinbase and his attitude, and I explained to him why I thought his attitude was pretty crappy, all I got was a puffed up chest response. Well, I work with law enforcement, so I'm doing this and that. I'm very important. I don't have time to play silly games with people who are reporting hundreds of millions of dollars of manipulation that rob their clients. You see, that's not important. It's more important to play important than to actually do something important. That's why you see the older generation see this get worse and worse, and then you see society breaking down right before your eyes, over time, getting worse and worse. You see heinous acts no longer being a mark of degraded character, but actually the hallmark or a red badge of courage. Now, they won't understand this stuff. But I'm hoping some of you people, young people out there, you realize what I'm talking about, and you don't let these people burn down everything that's basically protected you from hordes of friggin' criminals. It's gotten to the point like they're so emboldened, yeah, we're robbing you. We have laws to protect us, so what? There's nothing you can do. When actually, they don't have any laws that protect them. That guy, for that senior global investment officer that I spoke to at Coinbase Pro, I was told to send the email to them by his own staff. And you look at the reaction, the disconnect from that staff to him, the rudeness, the nastiness, the lack of cooperation, the stonewalling, criminal activity that's really not a hallmark of a good enterprise. To me, that would be like the typical behavior of a boiler room. That's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. And to tell you the truth, when Bach opens up, or Gemini has got a 10 days off for getting Litecoin on here, maybe they do have manipulation on their platform. But I'm pretty sure they're not going to act like Coinbase Pro has. They seem to be a lot more professional, especially since they have to comply and they fall under SEC rules and they act like it. You have a question, you got a problem, I always got an answer. At Coinbase, you have a problem, you do all the work, you give them the data. It seems like a vindictive spite. Pointing this out, it's going to cost us money. We don't like you. If it costs you money, what do we care? But if it costs us, then we're going to have a problem. That's the attitude. That attitude is very reflective in the actual email that I put up in my last video. Coinbase Pro is a toxic exchange. I'll say it again. When you have these simple rudimentary kettling trades, manipulating the price of Litecoin, the two trades consist of the market size 2,113 spot 25. They're embedded in here, and they're embedded in here. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, if you're looking to see what's going to happen to Litecoin, you go and you look for the largest sell wall. These two sell walls were posted up there yesterday. Previously, the number was 1,623 spot 44. That was up for a whole week. Those two trades were taken down. They weren't sold or bought. So you know it's fake volume and you know it's fake trades. And these two trades will stay up here. And if you don't believe me, you can come back and check every day for 2,113 spot 25. It might be embedded, it might not be relevant or apparent when you first open your book, but you just automatically go to the two largest buy and sell walls at the lowest price, right? And you sit here, and when they start moving this trade around, you're going to see that 2,113 spot 25. It happens all the time. It's just a matter of waiting. And if you have perseverance, I don't know if that's virtue anymore, and determination, you will see it. So, after yesterday's little commentative email from the senior head of global investigations, I'm just going to report it in every day. And then when the CFT subpoenas me, I'm just going to turn everything over to them. Today, I'm going to file a complaint now with the SEC since Litecoin is going to fall underneath their jurisdiction. I already went to the lawyer and informed her that the ruling of the judge changes the rules of how we can approach this now. I informed her yesterday. She's going to reply to me, and more than likely, I'm going to have to end up getting in some kind. I'm trying to get into arbitration with these clowns, but since they have ignored the arbitration notices repeatedly, which will be the third time, so I gave them to the 14th, about a week to receive the letter, and about a week to reply. This is the third letter. The first one was rejected. It was sent certified. I have the receipts. The second one was delivered and was signed. The third one, I haven't gotten anything yet. That's why I'm giving it to the 14th. And after the third, see, I told you 2001-13-25. Now, how would I know that trade is there? What are the odds of you being able to predict the exact market side of a trade that's going to be on the platform? When, what, 11 minutes? And that one, other trade is in here. Now that we found that one, so you know I'm not bullshitting you. We're going to stay and watch the other one. It's quite boring watching these videos, but you can also, if you trade and you don't think the manipulation is a bad thing, then I would say this would be another tool in your toolbox to be able to trade Litecoin. Even though I find it very disfavorable and distasteful and criminal, maybe some of you people don't find that as a derogatory trait toward the platform. I do. But if you're going to continue to trade here, you're going to have to look at these sell walls. Now we got to see where the other one pops up. I still think it's at $58. Of course, they always seem to want to cap it at an even number. Yesterday it was $62 before they manipulated the price down. So you could see that trade. I told you the market size before you could even see it, and there it is. So apparently, if you're a person of regional logic, this validates some of the claims that I'm making. Now, I would have to have some kind of information to predict that there was going to be a trade of that exact market size down to the past the points, down to 0.25. In other words, I have to have all the variables to know that this trade exists. It's on the books, and yet not see it, but I know it's there. And then when the other trade that was on top of it or under it removed itself, there goes the number. So you have to give me that much credit. There it is, 58.07. Now I told you that trade existed, and you didn't see it before because it was buried on something else. And again, I know that variable exists in all the sum of the numbers. If I know that variables exist in all the sum of the numbers, see, he moved it down to here. That means I know the formula, and the formula in this case is kettling the price. So if I know the variables of the formula, and the formula's quotient or answer, this is logic to all you mathematicians. You will understand this. If I know the quotients, then I know the answer to the variables combination. And these are two variables used in combination to give you a certain quotient, an answer, a certain outcome. And when you see two kettling trades, and you just see them, now we know it's embedded in here, you know they're manipulating the price. This is strictly math, numbers. large volume numbers, large volume. You see this red band over here? You see this large green band over here? Large volume can hold the price between them. Why? Because they cannot buy there's no volume to buy their way past this price, and there's no volume to go the opposite way. They know this. It's not going to be enough to buy the coin. They know this. Now, if they're mistaken, I noticed something else they do, and if it does approach it, they'll retract these two trades. Then after the market goes up or down, they'll reinstate these two trades again, and then using the method of moving the price walls up or down, they can influence the direction the price goes. It's not hard. The only thing I'm complaining about is this method was used to bring that price down when we see that big, huge dump. And I do believe that these parties are responsible for that. And they should be ejected from the platform as per Coinbase's own rules. Coinbase wants to act like I'm some kind of tyrant, telling them what to do. See, 213, 125. You see it? You see it right there. It's right here. I don't care if there's another trade beneath it or below it that's larger. I don't care. Okay? Because I know that trade's not going to be up there for a week. You see? It's not even going to. They took it down right away. Even though they're false signaling as well. Like spoofing. Yeah, they're going to bring this price down. You see how he's pushing this toward the epicenter? The 0 point as the price goes lower and lower. On the sell side, this would be the 0 point because this direction goes to 0. On the buy side, this would be the infinity point, pushing this up. Look at the squeeze. Less and less of a range to trade in. They're fixing the price. They're not going to let that price go more sideways than down. Or the person who put these trades up is going to propagate the book with his trades. Then he's going to squeeze this lower, triggering the stop losses to dump into his buy orders. These are just numbers. That's all it is. This is just a technique. It's not really sophisticated. To tell you the truth, I'm not no Rhodes scholar, so to say. But this is very easy to detect and learn. I've learned this by watching Coinbase Pro. I learned how they manipulate it. Somebody said manipulation. So it's always been my job. In every Fortune 500 company I was consulting, we have a problem. We don't know how to fix it. I was paid to come in, learn the problem, study the problem, and come up with a solution. That was my job as consultant at Constantine Control Associates. You can call Mark Cavello and ask him. I was offered many jobs at J.P. Morgan, Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank, I was the person that did all the reports for Frank Gambino. Maybe you want to call and ask him. He still works there. Who was the guy that when they worked in Mark the Mark every day, who did all the reports and gave you all the reports? At all the consultants, who was the guy who did all the reports, basically doing all the work? And Sal Manfrey. I worked on when Frank Gambino was promoted and left. Sal Manfrey took over, and I was his point person. So now you can see that in relation to how these two walls affect the price, they're very key. And the trader who puts it up is getting the effect that he wants, so he's not going to change his method. The problem I have is that this method is not allowed on Coinbase Pro. It's kind of prohibited. And this method is responsible for hundreds of millions of USD being taken out of the hands of the investor in assets and put in the hands of this person running this kind of scam on us. I don't know. And what I don't really understand is I explained this to them, and they said they don't see market manipulation. I was like, this is a rudimentary form of market manipulation. You can see the both trades right here. I like when they're on the same, when you can get them on the same page, you can see them. The only thing that's changing them is people moving in and out trades on top or underneath it. I'm guessing that they think it wouldn't be detectable just for that reason, but it's not. It's there. It's there. Now you can actually see the two walls on the same page at the same time. I don't even have to move them. You can see he squeezed the price. 57.23 to 57.93 is not even $1. He's going to try to keep this price contained. I really like it when when it's on. This is really the easiest job they have ever given me to spot this kind of trading. You can see it. You see it? This wall and this wall. No more going back and forth with the scroll wheel on the mouse. Now, what profit could you make trading between these walls? If you're a shorter, you can't go down, can you? Look where you're stopping. What are you going to go down? 75 cents? If you're looking to gamble on it going up after this downturn, what are you going to make? 19 cents on each coin? How is that fair to you when you trade? How? It's fair to him. He does 4,000 coin a day, 5,000 coin a day using this method at $1. He makes $4,000 or $5,000 because he has a large bankroll. What do you make? You make nothing. You lose. Now we know that this is here. You see, I haven't seen these two walls being able to show in one page without scrolling up and down the order book ever. So I don't like the way this is looking now. You see it? They're looking to stop this rally. They see a little green. They don't want no green. They're worried that this is going to happen again. And for some reason, Coinbase cannot see this. Well, actually, they can't see it because they won't accept the file. I basically sent the file where they told me to the head of investigations, because the staff, the phone staff, is really trying to help me. And they said, well, Carter concluded the investigation. I was like, how? Carter is an investigator. I go, how could Carter conclude an investigation if he hasn't reviewed or received my evidence? I've been trying to send him this. But Carter said he went and looked for trade manipulation, and he couldn't see any. Well, Carter, then you don't have enough experience then if you can't detect these two walls, the same market size value. And here I am showing you right on one page. So I had the same circumstances with the same trades, with the same market size trades, peddling the price. And I sent it yesterday to the investigator. They totally, his excuse was, well, I don't want to open up a file from a guy that poses with birds in my Google picture because there might be a virus. Well, if you think there might be a virus on it, why don't you take it to your IT guys, have them, scan it with the virus scanner, and you could see it doesn't have anything. Your company told me, I got it recorded, send an MP4 file to us, and we'll look at it. I send the MP4 file to them, I managed to get it to them, and now they don't want to look at it. It's got a virus. What do you mean it's got a virus? You could scan that right now and see that it doesn't have a virus. Scan it. Even if they falsify the information, there's a virus on it. Oh, I have an original copy right here on Doctor. Let's scan it and see. You're lying. They'll try anything under the sun. I don't trust Coinbase Pro. I'm sorry. Anybody that lies, denies, doesn't look to help the client that's losing money, that's not a good thing at all. Well, like I said, I don't know how you guys can trade in this environment with this kind of manipulation going on. Now there's no way that you can, if you short or go long, there's no way any of you can make any money. How? How can you make any money? What are you going to short down from? Go put a short out for 57.65 and sell it at 57.25? Or are you going to buy today at 57.66, which is a new low right now at the time being, and sell it at 67.90? 57.90, excuse me? How are you supposed to make money on that? You can't, because it's not a fair and balanced market. How? And I don't think he's going to remove these two walls because they want it to go down further. So it's more sideways and then down again. We've seen this, more sideways, down again, more sideways, down again. How do you keep making it go sideways? How do you keep people from trading on here? You take away the trading opportunities. That's what he's doing. Look at the spread. Where can you make any money? Who would trade in this market? They want you to sell out, right? These people have a large amount of money. They want you to sell out. I can tell you this is my opinion, but this is what I think the script is. Demoralize everybody. December, pump the market to a sky high. Have those in collusion with you come on TV, 3 multi-billionaires whose time is worth, every second's worth millions, that they took enough time to go talk to this reporter. Not one of them, all 3 of them. There was a lot of money in that room at the point. Say it's in the bubble, help inflate the bubble, dump the market, come in at the bottom, and then turn around and wait till everybody's demoralized, collect as much point as you can. This is like a George Soros tactic. Come in, start people fighting, demoralize everybody, take their property for cheap. And then when it's all done, use your friends in the press to start putting in good news. Start feeding the news stream of good news. This is coming out. This is being done. This is being done. This is being done. Flood the airwaves. Some of the people out there they watch, you have these people approaching you, talking to you, oh yeah, this and this and this. They're actually using you because they know the end of the cycle is there. especially Charlie Lee, who sold off at 368, and then just before this huge dump happened for almost a year, and now he's going around, oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing crypto pay, and whatever, 10x, or that other thing that he's pushing, and he's working with that other company. You got Gemini doing this USD. Then they keep your eye focused with all this good news, and you're like, oh, it's a shitty market. I lost money. Well, let me take a look and see what's going on. Maybe I lost money during that downturn. Maybe I could turn something around if I catch the next wave up. And then sure enough, you're going to see, boom, it's going to start going up. It's going to be all over the news. They use the news. It's going to be all over the news. Oh, we got a 20% gain, a 30% gain. And everybody's going to come running back, and you're going to see a huge pump again. And then they're going to dump it down again. And then you're going to see people get demoralized. But those who came through this and survived, those who came through this to survive and learned what was going on, maybe you did take a shellacking. Maybe you did get a little abused. Maybe you did get a little angry, upset. But once this market starts moving again, you're going to have a little extra money. You're going to throw it in there, and you're actually going to make something. And then you're going to be roped in. And they're going to tag you along until it gets up to the top. Keep you trading up higher and higher prices. And then they're going to pull the rug out from underneath your feet. To get your money. This is the haves versus the have less. So this market is going to go up. And I think you're going to see a pump to $1 trillion. You're going to see a market cap of $1 trillion. So when you see the market cap go back up to where it was and beyond, my opinion, my advice, is then you should be looking to get out. Let's remember what happened last time. Everybody, they make you believe that it's never going to end. It's never going to top out. This is great. Oh, it's going to go higher. People get caught up in that euphoria. They get high. They actually, this market and them making money causes a release of chemicals in your brain. The emotions take over. And you get actually high from it. And you're like, I can't lose. I'm a winner. You feel good about yourself. And you just keep, well, this makes me feel good. I'm winning. And you'll keep playing the game. That's gambling. That's how gamblers get sucked in. You gotta sometimes realize this gravy train isn't gonna last forever. You gotta know when to pull the trigger, to get out. That's the problem, I think, most of the market. They're getting in at the wrong time, and they're getting out at the wrong time. Now, what I learned I learned this little stunt here. I know now the SEC regulations that this should not be here. From my investigation, I know Bitcoin and Ethereum are exempt from those security rules, but not everything else is under those security rules. So I will not trade Bitcoin or Ethereum because I'm not protected under those rules. Okay? Let's get that straight. Now, this is my opinion. That's the rules that I know, so that persuades me to trade like. Now, what I learned is that you have to use this tool. This is a very significant tool, the RSI. These are for all the people say, that just got in the market. The most relevant tools I could help you with. You have to learn more than this, what I'm showing you, but at the bare minimum, you have to know these tools. You see this? This is the RSI. Okay? This is the relative strength index. This tells you when they're overbought and oversold. You see up here? Or overbought. Look at the price. See? So now everybody's selling. So it's obviously overbought. Let's take profit. Now look, you notice it'll hit around here. You can use your own judgment on this, because you can see I'm looking at the 50 as a marker. But some people might say, hey, if it goes lower, say down to here, that should be an indicator to start buying. That's what I understand from other traders. Okay, this is to help you out. Now that it hit bottom and bounced, I would suspect the price to go up. But then I also learned that's not a guarantee that the price is going up, but it's highly likely it's going up. Remember, this is a risk. We're working off information, as much information as you can get. I might not have all the information. You might be able to find more, and my observation might be muted in some way. So I'm saying do your own homework. You'll see here Litecoin. See what I'm saying about the RSI? Litecoin might have to go down a little, might have the possibility of going down a little more. But to me, we're in good shape if we went down and we're at $58. Other people will go berserk. Oh, we're losing money, it went down. No, it's just the natural flow of the market. Okay? We went down a little bit lower on the RSI than expected. As you compare it to, say, substratum, you see 50. It always hovers around there. But it's been lower. But since the market is recovering, I've noticed a trend. Say it likes to stay at 50 in an uptrending market. That's a signal that tells me, hey, look, the market seems to be recovering. Look at the price. And the RSI is only going to 50 or a little below it before it starts retracing back up. So to me, that's an indicator that this market is going to start going up in price. But you got to remember, the market goes up and down. You look at the curve; it's going up in price. But look, you see these reds here. You see, this is natural for this. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down immediately. So when you're trading this, you have to be careful where you pick the peak, and you got to get it done quickly. Now that's not advice, that's just an observation. I'll say it again. Don't sue me. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just reporting my observations. Okay, now look, you see this RSI on Litecoin is very low. To me, I actually, in my learning what's going on, to me that's actually a good thing. Because now you can buy in low and catch the next wave up. And you can see a pattern. Up, down 1, 2, up, down 1, 2, up. This one we got lucky. It went up twice. Of course, the market's transitioning. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now it's like going in terms of one shot. This is just one long shot. You see, because it went up so high. Down. Now it's about here. I expect at least to come back. I think it's going to at least come and settle about here. It's going to go up higher, and then it's going to settle around here. You see, when it goes up high, it settles like at the, even if it goes down, it likes to settle at this like halfway mark of the last rise. So halfway mark of the last rise. That seems to be the usual pattern. That's just my observation. This is not advice. I know I'm annoying you, but I keep saying that. Now look at the price difference from $58, $57. I guess you can get some arbitrage if you're fast. I don't think you're going to really make too much money. But that shows you, usually it'll go up. What I noticed on Binance, it'll go up on Binance first before Coinbase. Okay, that's another important thing, to use at least a couple exchanges graphs. You see? Now on this one, if you're going to trade here on Coinbase Pro, you have to learn about this bracket racket they got going on here. You see these two items, this market size and this market size. You see, the bottom line numbers, you have to find where these bracket trades lie. In this case, I found it to be 2,113.25, which is embedded in here. There's probably another trade in here. And this trade is all by itself. You just seen it? It's moving around. The price stays between these two all the time. We gotta watch how they move this bracket around. Unfortunately, they're manipulating the price. They're really not supposed to be on LTC. But that's going to be further discussion between Coinbase and myself in the future. And I will have that settled. It's just a matter of time. I'll do it for you guys. I'm out here watching. There's somebody out here who actually thinks honesty is the best policy. You see 213.25, 2113.25. I told you about that. 2113.25. You see they're the largest walls in the whole book, exposed order book. And that's to kettle the price in between them. There's not enough volume here to move the price past this or past this. They know that. That's how they're controlling the price. It is illegal. But LTC is under SEC rules. It is illegal. So today, unfortunately, I have the dirty job of reporting them. Now that the judge ruled in New York, a federal judge ruled that the only two that are exempt from any regulation from the CFTC and the SEC are Ethereum and Bitcoin. Litecoin is neither one of those. So they're subject to the laws. So after September 11, it seems almost like the divinity has stepped in my case, because I've been going after them this for months. Prior to June, prior to May. The end of last year, beginning of this year, I started noticing this. And that's when I noticed it was bringing it down. And how they were bringing it down. Now, knowing this and the new rules, I asked for arbitration. I haven't received anything. I asked for them to open an investigation. They did the investigation without receiving any data from me. In other words, my proof, which I would send this video to them, which you guys could clearly see the manipulation trades are right there. They never bought or sold. It's just that every 7 days they change the market size and they repost them. I actually have video of the last market size, which is 1,623.44. Those trades, two walls, were up there for a week. They were neither bought nor sold. They were just taken down and replaced by something of a different market size. You see? Unfortunately, if you're going to trade Litecoin, you have to know where those two walls are, because they're always there. They're always there every single week. So they're a variable that you have to contend with when you're trading Litecoin. There's no way around it. I tried to get them taken off. They will not take them off. So this market, this is what you got to work with right here between these two trades. Litecoin is going to stop being traded. I don't know if this is a scheme cooked up to keep Litecoin price stable in order it to be used by merchants. I don't know, maybe this is a scheme. That's just my opinion. But I do know these trades are kettling the price. I do know that for a fact. You see? And the only reason a trader would put up the same market size is so he can keep track of the spread that he's allowing the price to exist in, the range he's allowing the price to exist in. That's why you put up this wall. You have to keep it the same. What are we doing today? Oh, we're keeping it between 57.40 and 58.09, not even $1, and then he gets his pat on the head. And then meanwhile, if you went in and bought at this over here, you're expecting, oh, I'm going to make some money. Look, it's low. It's going to shoot up. Really? With this over here, blocking it from getting up. You see this trade over here? Why would any trader put up this secondary trade? Might be part of this scheme over here. Why would he put this up when he knows the volume is dead as a doornail? To control the price, keep it from going out of that range. These guys are going to run it sideways from here, and they're going to dump it down again. This should tell you, here, look. You know when you see this sideways, and it's being squeezed sideways. It's not the market, people buying and selling, that's causing it to go sideways. It's this trade sitting there, controlling the range of the buys and sells, that's causing it to go sideways. And then they can dump it. So this is how market manipulation is happening. And it's not me that set the guidelines to say this is illegal. The SEC says it's illegal now. Now Litecoin falls under their jurisdiction, which I will be filling out the forms to turn them in today. It's a whole new ball game now. The SEC is involved, and the CFTC has declared their full reign over everything else. You see this? Market manipulation of any kind is strictly prohibited. Deceive or mislead other traders. Artificially control and manipulate the price or trading value of an asset. And what happens? They call up, we don't see any manipulation of the asset from this simple kettling trade. Simple to see. Anybody can understand what this is about. Anybody. You get to any broker, you say, what about these two trades? Why are these constantly up here? And then if they're up here for a week, they're taken down, and two more trades are posted up. They have the highest volume on trade on both the sell side and the buy side, and they're just taken down and reposted as a different market size. Any trader is going to tell you that's kettling trade. That's the price manipulation going on right there. That's simple price manipulation. That's it. That's it. So you could see that it's being manipulated, and this is exactly probably what I'm going to send to the SEC today. But I'm also posting it on my YouTube channel, so you guys who trade LTC can see what's going on and why you don't fare too well, because the odds are stacked against you if you're a lower cap trader, because the higher cap trader is using his wealth and his money to box the price in. Now you might think that his gain is not going to be very much from this. Well, when you trade 5,000 coin and you gamble between $57 and $58, that's $1. Now you take that 5,000 coin, you times it by $1. He's going to make $5,000 today. Are you going to make $5,000? No, we'll see to that. He's seeing to that. You see this large trade over here? They're trying to cap it at $58, you see? You know, Coinbase must think that most of the people, to tell you the truth, you know what, people you trade in LTC? Coinbase thinks you're stupid. And you know why they think you're stupid? Because you're not calling up and telling them about this. They can't see that, they're stupid. And then the guy that does notice and calls it in, they act like you're some kind of heretic. And they want to take you out and burn you at the stake. It's an ideology that you cannot tell them what's against their beliefs. They don't care. Their belief is making fees. It doesn't affect them gaining fees. Well, they don't care. 20% of the volume on their own exchange, they have the belief that that's not going to affect price. You might as well believe in unicorns. Talk about your Luddite beliefs. I mean, you know, if you put fire on somebody's arm, it's going to burn. Oh no, we're protected by our God. Go right ahead. All right, everybody. See you later. Wife and child going to school and work. I trade and I work at nights. This market, was really good to trade it when I first got in, but the manipulation is just, it's just out of control. They were taking little bits of people's money, 10 million, 20 million, 30, then 40, then 50, then 100 million, then 150 million. Look at that Ethereum flash crash. That was a sign of times to come. So please be aware that 2,113 spot 25 right there. Yeah. Don't bother looking at this one. This is just a temporary one. That's not going to be there for too long. These are always there. These will be up there a week. This might even be another trade from this trader, trying to keep the price lower. But even though these two trades do exist, they're there. And every 7 to 10 days, they change the market size, and they'll still be there. I'm a little suspicious that this trade showed up, but it necessarily doesn't mean the market's still not being manipulated by them. This is just a newcomer right there. These are always there. These are always there every single week, 7 days a week. Then without being sold or bought, they're taken off. After they're taken off, what happens? Another one comes up of the same two market size. There'll be a different market size. There'll be the two largest walls, and they'll be posted. So this has no relative variable in that formula. You see what he's doing now? He might have somebody else came in and it might be forcing the price down into their buy orders. Let's look at that, 100, 100, 100. I told you it was going to go down. I told you. It might even him deciding to adopt a new method to get his coin in the morning before he releases his walls. This will disappear. Those two walls being up there, that's trade manipulation no matter what. This might be a new variable he's using to get his morning tea, coffee, whatever you want to call it. This is the most manipulated market I ever seen. So, okay, I'm going to cut this video off at an hour. I will post it to YouTube, but this will be the video that I'm going to send to the SEC today. I'm going to go start filling that out this morning. And we're going to see what the SEC does about this, because now the ruling passed September 11th that anything that other than Bitcoin and Ethereum now falls under SEC jurisdiction as securities. And then, God forbid, Coinbase Pro could tell you what manipulation is. They're trying to tell the SEC and the CFTC what a commodity and security is. And they turned around, you don't tell us, son, we tell you. They got mixed up, Coinbase. They got a lot of chutzpah. They're really bold. But the federal judge shut them down on September 11th and said, oh, no, you don't tell us. There's no vagueness in our eye. You don't come over here and tell us what's a security. You don't come over here and get on the podium, the witness stand, and start pretending you're a judge and telling us they're not a security. No, I'm the judge. I know the laws. I'll tell you if they're security or not, and I'll tell you which regulation they're under. And I think it's called a house. There's a certain the house test. That's it. and they used the house test, and they put it against the crypto, and the house test says it's a security, so it is a security. There's only two exemptions, Ethereum and Bitcoin. The rest of them, the house test says they're securities or commodities. Take your pick. The SEC says in New York they're securities. I live in New York. So this is securities fraud now. I don't know why these guys didn't listen to me and they blew me off. It's best that they open the file before the SEC gets my file and opens it and say, yes, Mr. Russo, we're going to settle. Here's your money. Go away. You know, this has gone on so long, and I've been trying to help them so long. I got 5 minutes left to clear this issue up. That I honestly, if I was on the other side following the procedures, so he reported the crime and he pointed it out to you every day. And he did all the homework, did all the investigations, gave it all to you for free. You ignored it and let the crime continue. That's like driving somebody over their house to commit murder. You're an accomplice. If you know that person's going to kill somebody, and you know full well that he's going there, well, drive me over there, I'm going to kill somebody. And you drive them over the house, and they go and kill somebody, then you drive them back home. And everybody knows this. That guy's going over there to kill that person, and you drove him. You're an accomplice. That's just that you're in the driver's seat, Coinbase. You're driving this guy to the market every day to commit fraud. You're an accomplice. Though it's not murder, you're driving, letting this guy into the exchange to commit fraud every day. And we're telling you he's going to commit fraud. He has committed fraud. He continues to commit fraud. And you've done nothing. So you aided and abetted him. So I got a few more minutes. See what else I could possibly squeeze in this video for an hour. Well, I told you they're going to push the price down. This is disgraceful. This is an utter disgrace. Disgusting. Now look. You see? This trade's moving up and down. He's using it to squeeze the market down. To send a false signal that there's a sell-off. And meanwhile, he's not selling any coin. He's triggering stop losses. He's going shopping. These traders do not give a shit. Their attitude is take what you can get by any means necessary. And then deal with the you see this? Now the 213, he let go. The 213 is going to hold the price in. He's going in and out with this trade. The trigger stop losses. Look, you notice how all the trades above it are changing? None of them within the range are. Look at this. Everything else is being active. Nothing's moving. These are all moving on, and this is a graveyard here in between these two. A virtual graveyard. What a disgrace. I never seen a book so manipulated so far. The book that tells you, hey, I'm being manipulated, screams it on the first page. Screams it. Same market size. The same skit, the same script every week. Put up two walls, the two largest ones. Right? Same market size. put them in there, move them up and down, control the price. This looks like a third party to come in. I haven't seen him before. But this guy's always here. This might be, since they're letting this guy manipulate, this guy decided to, well, you know, I might as well too. What the hell? Get some cheap coin. Rip everybody off. C2 there, 11325. It's called a kettle. The kettle forces the price to be within the range of the two walls. It's price fixing. It's volume manipulation. So is this. You don't see him selling any coin. He's just using it to move coin into his buy wall. They can't see this because none of them know how to read an order book. They're IT people. Oh, there's trade manipulation going on. They come and stare at this. This is not going to tell you anything about trade manipulation. This is going to tell you what was bought and sold. The book here. This is where the trades are. These are where they're posted. This is where you see the trade manipulation. You see this trade right here? You think that's somebody trying to block. I'm always mistaken thinking that's somebody trying to block the price. No, that's somebody trying to dump, to catch the falling knife. You see? These are false reporting. Look at this. All right, time's up. Time to post.